Hello everyone. My name is Tomer Lupo, and I am here with you today to discuss the events of Kristallnacht. Now, before I begin, I'd like to pose a question, and I would like each of you to take a moment to think about your answer. Have you ever experienced a moment in your life that was so pivotal, so crucial, that it forever changed the entire course of your future? What was that moment? Now, I'm no betting man, but I am almost confident that no one who has watched this video or will watch this video will have the same answer. You see, the reason I decided to bring up this question is because for the German Jewish community of the 1930s, their answer to this question would be all the same. The moment that they would remember to change their lives forever would be Kristallnacht, which has also come to be known as the Night of Broken Glass. I'm going to paint to you what Germany was like in 1938, the year that Kristallnacht took place. Hitler had already been brainwashing the German people for 5 years to be anti-Semitic. Jews were not considered to be citizens whatsoever, and they were considered to be a threat to the purity of the Aryan race. All interactions between Jews and non-Jews was strictly forbidden. Now this means that Jewish doctors could not see non-Jewish patients, Jewish business owners couldn't work or sell to non-Jews, but most importantly, if you were Jewish at the time and you were to walk out into public, you would need to do everything you could to avoid exposing yourself as a Jew to the surrounding Germans. Because if you did, you would be beat and publicly humiliated. This started in 1935 and went on for 3 years until Kristallnacht began. Now, on the 17th of November, a Jewish teenager living in Paris at the time, named Herschel Greenspan, had enough. He could no longer stand to sit and witness the suffering of his own people. And on that day, he walked into the German embassy in Paris, and he shot a Nazi officer named Ernst. Word of this quickly spread to Germany. And it only took 2 days until the entire German country, led by the Nazis, revolted against the Jews. Kristallnacht occurred on the night of the 19th of November in 1938. On that night, Germans fled the streets. They broke into 8,000 businesses, Jewish businesses, and completely destroyed them. They broke into thousands of Jewish homes and trashed them with hammers and pickaxes. They burnt down 1,400 synagogues, which, if you don't know, a synagogue is a Jewish place of worship, much like a church is to the Christian community. Okay? That night, 400 Jews were murdered in cold blood, while Germans were out in the streets starting bonfires with sacred Jewish texts, Jewish belongings, and Jewish books. And while this was all happening, while Jews were scared and petrified, trying to cling on what little they still had left, Germans were out in the streets dancing and singing and celebrating their newfound purity. They were celebrating the fact that they were finally starting to eradicate the Jews from their country in order to make it one that was filled with pure Aryans. The day after Kristallnacht, the morning after, 30 Jewish men had been arrested, and they were sent to prisons. These prisons would later be known as concentration camps. On the same day, German tax collectors showed up at Jewish homes and businesses to seize any furniture or belongings in order to pay for the damage that had been done to the properties and those surrounding them, leaving most Jews with little to nothing left. The night of broken glass, Kristallnacht, was the night that would eventually lead to Hitler's final solution, which was a plan to eradicate the entire Jewish race. That night forever altered the history of all Jewish people. Because throughout World War II, 6 million Jews would die. And at the time, there were only a little over 9 million in all of Europe. The Jewish people were almost exterminated. But they survived.